Let me hear the letter.
The family draws together by the fire to hear the loving words from their father, that ends with his anticipation of returning even more proud and fond of his little woman.
I'll try and be what he loves to call me, a little woman, and not be rough and wild. Do you remember when you used to play Pilgrim's Progress when you were little? I used to tie bags to your back and as for burdens and let you travel through the house, and used to have battles to fight and long journeys until you reached the celestial city.
I don't remember much about it, but if I wasn't too old for such things, I think I'd rather like to play it again.
But we're never too old for this, my dear, because it's a play we are playing all the time. Our burdens are here, and our road is before us, and we have to see how far we can get until Father comes home.
I think that's just another way to say to be good. And I think the stories will help us, but it's hard to want to be good.
Well, you know, look under your pillows Christmas morning, and you'll find something that might help. Now, it's time for bed, my dears.
While Laurie cut flowers for Mrs. March. When they returned to the drawing room, Joe, drawn to the grand piano, convinced Mrs. Laurie to play. After promising to visit again, Joe departs her regret again. Amy opens her eyes and holds out her arms to Joe. Not the same words, but they hug each other close. And all is forgiven and lost. Laurie steps aside, and in his place appears a tall man, muffled up to his eyes, leaning on the arm of another man. Everyone is shocked into silence as they throw their arms around Mr. March. Mr. Brooks, who has also arrived, kisses Meg. Entirely by accident, he soon claims. Mr. March tells how he longed to surprise them, and how the warm mother promoted his doctor to release him. He praises Mr. Brooks for his help, and while watching Meg to see if she betrays any signs of affection for Mr. Brooks. Finally, the family settles down to dinner.
Just a year ago, we were groaning over the dismal Christmas we expected to have. Do you remember?
I think an awfully lovely year in the whole. I think it's been a pretty hard one. I'm glad it's over, because we've got Father back.
Rather a rough road for you to travel, my little pilgrims, especially the latter part of it. But you've gone on bravely. I've noticed several things about you all today.
What have you discovered?
Well, first, look at Meg's hand. I remember a time when this hand was white and smooth. It was your first care to keep it so. It is much prettier now. I'm sure the sewing done by these strict fingers will last a long time. These hands will keep a happy home. I'm glad to shake this good industrious little hand.
What about Joe?
I don't see the Joe I left a year ago. I see a young lady whose face has grown gentler. She takes care of the little one in a motherly way. I rather miss my wild girl, but if I shall get a good, helpful, tender-hearted woman in her place, I shall feel quite satisfied.
You should marry well and help your family.
Mother and Father like John. Even though he is poor, he is rich in friends. And Mr. Lawrence is helping him get started in business.
You intend to marry a man without money, position, or business, and work harder than you do now, when you could live comfortably day to day by minding me and doing better? I thought you had more sense, Meg.
I couldn't do better if I waited half my life. John is a good man, wise and talented, and I'm happy to think he cares for me.
He knows you have rich relations, child. That's the secret of his liking, I suspect.
How dare you say such a thing? John is above such meanness. He loves me, and
Well, I wash my hands of the whole affair. You've lost more than you know by this folly. And, don't expect anything from me when you're married.
Slamming the door, door, Aunt March drives off. Then stands for a moment, undecided whether to laugh or to cry.
In most families, there comes now and then a year full of events, and this has been such a one. But it ends well after all.
Don't you wish you could take a look forward in time and see where we all are in 3 years? I do.
I think not, for I might see something sad. Everyone looks so happy now. I don't think they could be much improved.